indeed. We're in the kitchen now. Michela's got a dish that's delicious and full of colour. This looks like a cracker, Michela.
Panzanella salad is a traditional classic. My best memory of it is on my honeymoon. I bit into a bit of bread and it was the crunch with the kind of the juices and... Yeah, I think
Imagine
it's a
your husband
combination.
thrilled. That's the wonderful memory of your... one abiding memory of your whole honeymoon. Remember that Panzanella we had? It's like, oh, yeah.
Just one of the memories.
One of the many.
Yes.
But more excitingly, I have to say, is this ciabatta recipe, which I have been working on for quite a while because I'm slightly obsessed with bread at the minute because my kids eat a lot of it. And unless you buy a really expensive loaf, I get processed ones from the supermarket and I just can't bear watching them eat the kind of, there's a lot of hidden, nasties in it. And so I've been wanting to create a recipe that is simple.
Yeah.
Because bread isn't simple a lot of the time. There's a lot of...
It's a good idea for an item. There must be some mass-produced bread that's good for you. Like, there must be some good stuff in some of them.
I don't know. You can't use it for this recipe because this recipe traditionally comes from stale bread.
Yeah.
And supermarket bread doesn't go stale.
No,
it just goes mouldy. It doesn't go hard.
Right.
And yet you go to France or Italy and you get a fresh baguette and the next day it's like you could literally...
solid.
Yeah.
You've got to eat it.
That's very true.
This recipe is going to take me minutes of my time. So I have got in here plain flour, some good kind of bread flour if you can, a tablespoon of olive oil. This is how simple it is. I'm so excited. This is quick-acting yeast, so 7 grams. And then we've got in here warm water, and this is going to activate the yeast, OK? So...
You're about to do something really outstanding with that, aren't you? It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to stir it, Dermot.
Amazing.
I'm going to stir it.
But magic's going to happen.
And magic is going to happen, because watch this. And I promise you, anyone at home trying this, you want to combine this, OK? And once it's combined, cover it with a damp tea towel or some cling film. Or the hardest thing, you've got to leave it for 30 minutes. I mean, if you can survive. But that's what it's going to look like after 30 minutes. And then all we're going to do now is add sugar into some warm water, dissolve that.
What does the sugar do, Michela?
Salt. Salt. And the reason we're doing this bit in 2 stages is if you mix salt with the yeast, it can often stop it rising.
Oh,
right.
So that's why we're doing it a little bit later.
I see.
That's going to go in.
Corrected that, because otherwise there'd be the whole nation going,
yeah.
Sugary bread.
That's just quite nice and sweet, isn't it?
Bread.
But to be honest, sorry.
Don't be silly, it's fine.
That gets mixed together, and I promise you, you just mix that together. You then cover it again once it's all combined.
Does that absorb the water, basically?
I mean, if I stand to mix that in, it'll all go into the bread. But you put that in a warm place for 3 to 4 hours. OK, so you've seen how hard that was, right? Really taxing. After 3 to 4 hours...
Wow.
Ta-da! I mean, look at that.
I mean, that is... Yeah.
And that is it. And I'm going to now put it into a line baking tray. Like that. Shake it all in.
God, look at that.
I love just how it all comes out.
I know, so it's like...
So it's quite a wet dough, as you can see.
Slime.
Yeah.
And then that into the oven, all right?
And that's this.
And that is it. I promise you, I am unbelievably excited by this. Now, there might be bread makers out there that go, oh, my goodness, no way. But if I can give my kids that every day, I mean, look at it. Slice it up. It's nice and soft. And so, I mean,
it's warm.
This is amazing. It's amazing,
nice.
right? No time for all those people out there that can't be bothered, like me, to spend hours kneading. So I'm going to now use this in my Panzanella recipe, which is one of my favourite salads. I have toasted with olive oil and salt, and the reason being is it's meant to be stale. So it's meant to be, you're meant to crunch the bread. And obviously this now isn't crunchy, and it's going to absorb all those juices.
You just stick that in the oven for a bit, do you?
Yeah, just chop it up, bit of olive oil and salt. So onto here is red wine vinegar, and this is the magic. That's the bread.
Michela, sorry to interrupt, but should you do that with your stale bread as well? Stick it in the oven for a bit?
Absolutely. So the genius of this is if you have got proper stale bread, but it needs to be, hard, you just chop it up.
Yeah.
And then I've got some lovely tomatoes in here, and this is the other bit of magic, is that tomato juice. So I've strained them, just literally let them sit. They're going to go in to here, and I'm going to use this for my dressing, which is, where is it? Some chopped anchovies. And again,
wow.
people panic a bit with anchovies because they think it's going to be fishy. It's for the flavour. You
I
won't
would
really
never know that's got anchovies.
No.
Ah, there you go.
Not at all.
And then garlic. Some more olive oil. And that's the dressing. OK. Obviously, salt and pepper.
Michela, this is a proper summer salad for you, isn't it?
Isn't it? Isn't it? But it's, a lot of this is store cupboards ingredients,
Yeah.
you know? So I'm going to put a bit of salt and pepper. So there's my dressing.
What's the origins of this one? Tuscany?
Southern.
Oh, Southern.
Southern, yeah. And Tuscany. Well, I mean, I had it in Tuscany. I mean, every Italian will say it comes from their region. I mean, have you not noticed that? Even the aunts next door to me, you know, they'll be like, well, that's my recipe. No, it was my nonna's recipe. Italians just like to argue, really. They like a bit of drama. But over this, a bit of parsley, those finely chopped red onions, capers, and I mean, and that is it. I mean, how simple is that?
It really is. But it is utterly delicious.
And for me, I think, it's the red wine vinegar on that bread.
Yeah.
You don't really know what it is, but I think when you taste it...
It's got that sweet thing. And you've used different varieties of tomatoes here, which looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But presumably you can use whatever you can get.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a bit of an argument in our house. My sisters won't eat tomatoes in this country because they go, they're not like Italian tomatoes. But I think this recipe, it's the kind of... The red wine vinegar almost cooks them a little bit, and I think it helps with even
Brings it
tomatoes that might not have that full flavour.
We had some tomatoes from the Isle of Wight the other day,
Incredible,
didn't
weren't
we? And they were, I have to say, they were as good as any that you would have anywhere else.
Well,
in the
I
world.
think
they were unbelievable.
You can, I mean, look at these ones. This is a green one. Look how pretty that is. It's gorgeous.
Stunning.
But for me, I think the bread, the onions, you dress this up, and I think I'd eat that as a whole meal in itself.
Delicious. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Absolutely lovely.
Yeah, but details of today's recipe, more delicious ideas from our chefs. Download the free This Morning app. Still to come. If you're looking for some food inspiration,
Sorry.
some more food
Little bit of pepper
inspiration,
in the back of my
and
throat.
some... You're right.
I've got that thing where I got a tiny bit of pepper right in the back of my throat.